Hello everybody, after a month and 6 days of my Christmas vacation, I'm officially back to work. Also, this is also the first video I'm making in 2025. And by the way, I would like to wish you guys a happy new year. Let's hope that 2025 would be a good year like 2024 was. And so, on today's video, I will be talking about my top 10 unpopular opinions that I disagree with most people. I know a lot of people are going to be upset with me for this, so, without any further ado, let's start this shit, shall we? Unpopular opinion number 1. Frozen is an overrated Disney movie. I want to start talking about Disney as a starter topic because I know a lot of people want me to talk about anything Disney before they start pitching a fit with me because I'm a fan of some movie franchises. And I don't pay too much attention to Disney, so to make you guys feel better, I'll go ahead and tell you about a film I find extremely overrated. Now I know it's technically not an unpopular opinion, but I thought maybe I want to let it out. Disney does have the reputation of making the best animated or live-action films. Some films like Chicken Little or perhaps any of the direct-to-video sequels are considered mediocre or downright bad. Some would even suggest a few films to be extremely overrated. If Yoshi Player would think The Little Mermaid is overrated, I would like to tell him I'm sorry, there is no way The Little Mermaid is that bad or overrated. If there is a film that's more overrated than The Little Mermaid in my opinion, it's Frozen. I'm sorry, if you guys like this film, I respect your opinion. The reason why I find this film overrated is because the story is predictable. Most of the songs are mediocre, except of course the summer song by Olaf, and the characters are extremely bland and unsympathetic as characters. It makes me feel less sorry for them, and funny enough I should have been sorry for Anna, but then again, it was her fault to begin with, because she keeps harassing Elsa because she has a special power and she accidentally shot her with her magic once on the head and on the heart when she wanted to jump across snow and she wanted to marry a prince she doesn't know anything about. Talk about having a prince being a jerk character, kinda gives me the Shrek deja vu, and a duke for a minor antagonist, which really killed my interest for this movie. So I ask myself multiple times, why on earth did I even watch this movie when I'm not interested in the first place? Another reason why I bring this up is because the current generation we live in today say that they love this movie and it's the greatest film by Disney. If I find the greatest Disney film ever made, it has to be The Lion King, the original 1994 film, not the 2019 remake, or Wreck-It Ralph. Frozen is not the kind of film for my taste. Oh, and don't get me started on the sequel. I've never even seen it and I never will, no matter if it's on Disney Plus or on cable TV, especially on Disney Channel or Disney XD. Oh, and one last thing I want to bring up is Elsa. I've seen a lot of people wanting to ship Jack Frost with Elsa, which in my opinion they do deserve each other, but there is one user, not mentioning his name, that's extremely passionate about shipping himself with Elsa all to himself and bashing people over Elsa ships. Sorry to break it to you, pal, but Elsa is a fictional character that you are obsessed with and not bother sharing with others. So come at me, you Elsa fan brat, and I'm sorry to break it to the Elsa fans. There is no way that I find Elsa better than other Disney characters. Not saying that I want her as my waifu, because having a crush on a cartoon character is kinda weird for my taste. So long story short, Frozen is Disney's most overrated film that I've ever watched. I don't find Elsa interesting, I find the story predictable, and I find most of the songs mediocre. There is no way that either Elsa or Anna are that attractive to me. Neither of those characters are my cup of tea. Ariel on the other hand is the most attractive from my childhood, as she was worth crushing on from my experience as a kid. So yes, Frozen is overrated and I would stick with Wreck-It Ralph. This Disney movie is a better film than Frozen. Sorry Frozen fans, that is my personal opinion. Number 2. The Clincoln McCloud episodes are not good for my taste. I know I've been going soft on this show because of how much I like this show from the bottom of my heart, but I thought maybe I express my negative opinion on that said show before some smart aleck bullies me for being a softie on this show. So I thought, hey, find something that makes you salty on this show. When it comes to the Loud House, I get real excited as I would flick on the TV and tune into Nickelodeon and a new episode is on the air. When a new episode is on the air, I am going to have myself a fun time. Unless of course it involves two boy characters that ruin it. Okay, I'm going to get a major kick in the face when I want to say I have a problem with those said episodes, but before you start acting like 2-year-old babies over this topic, let me make this clear to some folk: I don't hate the characters, I dislike the episodes. Scratch that. Hating and disliking is somewhat similar to how it sounds, but I'll have to go with disliking as it would make more sense if you ask me. The reason why I bring this up is because the Lincoln McCloud episodes are the biggest elephants in the room when it comes to the Loud House, because every time Nickelodeon and the writers announce a plot involving Lincoln and Clyde, I thought to myself, oh my god. Is it going to be one of those episodes? I mean, are you kidding me? You guys don't know how much this gets under my skin with Lincoln McCloud episodes. I know you guys are going to comment by saying, well, Lincoln and Clyde are BFFs. You don't expect Lincoln to be with his sisters all the time. Why do you have to be so salty about two characters you dislike? Because every time Nickelodeon and the writers announce an episode where they want us the viewers to look at Lincoln and Clyde, it's like they want us to ignore the sisters, and it's usually when they plot against other characters or the sisters. Remember in making the case when Lincoln and Clyde wanted to make funny videos about the sisters' most embarrassing moments so that they can make the best videos, or maybe the infamous Kings of the Con where they want the judges to vote Lincoln and Clyde to be in the movie instead of the sisters, but then it backfires when they told the truth. My question is how? How am I supposed to enjoy most of these episodes when all they do is scheme against other characters or the sisters? The reason why I said most is because on rare occasions I feel sorry for one of these characters, like Clyde when he got rejected by a schoolgirl he liked in Brave the Last Dance, or maybe in Schooled. Lincoln refuses to admit that he can't switch classes so he can be with his friends because he was assigned to be in a terrible classroom with a salty overreacting teacher. And then the principal sent him in a new school in Canada even though his plot was terrible to watch. That's just how I feel about those kind of episodes, because Lincoln never gets an episode all to himself, because in most of these episodes, Lincoln is usually forced to be with Clyde, and heck, they refuse to give it a rest. I understand Lincoln and Clyde are BFFs, but if you are going to do an episode about them, at least tone down the scheming against other characters we like or the sisters. If you want them to scheme against other characters, do it with other characters we don't like Chandler for example, because he's a prick to Lincoln and Clyde because of how much of a narcissist he is. And you guys might start thinking you don't have to be so damn salty just because you don't like those episodes. They can't be that bad. Except that's not the problem. The problem isn't the fact that Lincoln and Clyde don't deserve to be friends with each other because they are a bisexual couple, not even though I wouldn't be surprised if they were a couple. The problem is that fact that they were forced to be BFFs. Apparently there are other episodes on this show I do enjoy most of the time, like the episodes involving the sisters. I know Lori can be a character that a lot of people don't like because of how extremely bossy or uninteresting she is due to the fact that she is super clingy with Bobby. But at least she's a character I enjoy for who she is, not unless the writers treat her to be aggressively bossy to Lincoln or as an antagonist. I could try to be interested in an episode with Lynn even though she gets on my nerves sometimes, but at least with an episode by herself, she can be tolerable at some point. But as with Lincoln, at least tone down the Lincoln McCloud episode. I keep failing to see them do something interesting with each other. Why is it always Lincoln being paired with Clyde in every episode that's about them? There's Stella, there's Rusty, there's Zach, there's Girl Jordan. I'd be super happy if they do interact with each other. There's Ronnie Ann, even if I don't ship them as a couple. And there is the sisters he could interact with. Why Clyde, as mentioned? Why our other characters as mentioned didn't show up or made a single cameo? It seems that the writers treating them like it's time to take out the trash. I don't hate them in general, I dislike them. These are the kind of episodes that I failed to engage with and enjoy. There are other episodes that I will enjoy most of the time, whether it's about the sisters, the parents, or even the pets, or even some minor characters that were not thrown in the trash. But Lincoln McCloud will never be one of the episodes I will enjoy. Unless of course it'll be about Lincoln's friends other than Clyde. Number 3. I hate Eric Cartman from South Park. I've spent the entire topic talking about episodes I don't like. Now I want to talk about a character I don't like. It's more controversial than what I think of Clinkle and McCloud episodes. So I apologize for this next topic for being controversial for my taste. I think maybe it's time to say that ... people, if you watch South Park, be prepared. I have a strong negative topic regarding South Park, and that's because I fucking hate Eric Cartman. I'm sorry, but this is the character that I fail to engage or sympathize with. It's kinda sad to see that the South Park fan community are extremely toxic when it comes to favorite characters or episodes they like and everybody else doesn't like, and yet some people who don't watch South Park have every right to express their opinion on a character they don't like that others do. But it's time for me to explain why I don't like this character. He is just an insecure, Jew-hating, sadistic, overweight narcissist 10-year-old motherfucker who doesn't give a shit about everyone else's problems but his own self. He was also a bitch to his own mom. And what else can I bring to the table? Oh wait, the time in that one episode he ate the skin off of every piece of chicken from KFC. And sad as it may be, how am I supposed to sympathize with him when all he does is be a bitch to his friends or his mom if he's not going to change his character? But then again, the show has a ton of stereotypical, mean-spirited characters that I failed to engage with because a lot of characters in the show act like bullies to each other and their own kids, and also Cartman as a character has an extremely annoying voice like every other character on this show. The show in general has gotten worse and worse by the time after I failed to get interested in South Park because of how crazy and stereotypical it's gotten over the shitty years. The next time I ever watch the show and every time when Eric shows up in every episode, I would just tell him to shut the fuck up and apologize to the friends he's been a bitch to and stop being so prejudiced against Jews like Kyle, or else I'll have to rip his head off and put him in dangerous situations because that character deserves to die, not like Kenny when he died like 1,000 times. And if there is any character I want to feel sorry for, it's either Ike, Kyle Broflovsky, or Kenny McCormick, because these are the kind of characters that I want to sympathize with, and Eric Cartman, like all the other characters in this show, are so mean-spirited that I find him bland and unsympathetic as a character, making him the worst character of South Park. There is nothing in this show that will make me like him at the very slightest moment whenever he has a heart. He deserves all the hatred from me, because I want nothing to do with him. If there is a character that I like, it's either Ike or Kenny, as these are the only two characters that I feel sorry for in the show. The other characters or even Cartman can burn in the depths of fire for all I care, but at least I laughed my ass off from the movie, and even Eric Cartman was funny despite that I hated him. Sometimes I can laugh at a character that I hate, and that's extremely rare for my taste. Number 4. Woody Woodpecker is not an annoying character. When it comes to favorite cartoon characters, most would ask who is your favorite cartoon character. A lot of people say Bugs Bunny. A lot of people in the Disney community say Mickey and Friends, or maybe Winnie the Pooh, Those Pooh's Adventures of Fanbrats. A lot of people say Scooby-Doo. A lot of people would say the Flintstones. A lot of people would say Tom, Jerry, and a whole bunch of the cartoon community would as well go for SpongeBob. These are the kind of characters that everyone adores and love to talk about. While I do enjoy these characters, most of them, I even ask myself, why doesn't Woody Woodpecker get a mouthful of love? I mean, sure, there are any people that rarely talk about him, but why is there so many people that don't even know who he is? Oh, I'll tell you why. It's because it's irritating. I don't think he in general is a bad character. I don't find him that annoying. But he is less annoying than Donald Duck and SpongeBob combined. The reason why I bring him up is because he doesn't get enough attention, and most people, including my parents, say, oh, he's so annoying. I wished he was never created in the first place, and that is what bothers me. Some would even say that he is considered the black sheep of cartoon characters. But I don't find him as a black sheep. I just enjoy him for who he is. I mean, yes, there are some characters in his cartoons that I hate, like Wally Walrus, Miss Meanie, and others I don't give 2 cents worth. The only character other than Woody I like more is Buzz Buzzard, as I consider him the true arch-enemy. Let me say that again, true arch-enemy. to Woody like the Joker is to Batman or how King Ghidorah is to Godzilla, not Wall-E. Most of the early cartoon shorts, keyword cartoon short not episode, get it right people, involve Woody as a naughty character stealing food or annoying other characters like Papa Panda and Wile-E Walrus. As the years roll by, they gave Woody more development and add some antagonists such as Buzz Buzzard, Dapper Denver Dooley and Gabby Gator rather than recycle the same characters over and over. Later on he fell into obscurity, aside from the new show that ran from 1999-2002 and the web series on YouTube, but in my retrospective, I think he's the character that deserves to be well known by most people in the modern generation we live in today, and we see a lot of people talk about Tom and Jerry. We see a lot of people talk about Bugs Bunny and heck there is still a lot of people that talk about Scooby-Doo, but a lot of people would say SpongeBob is the most trending cartoon character now. Even in the modern year of cartoons, SpongeBob can be annoying to some people because of how overly popular he is, despite the fact that a lot of people are in denial that he is still the greatest cartoon character of all time. But unfortunately, the passion me with SpongeBob is gone, and that's why I chose Woody Woodpecker more than SpongeBob, which in my opinion the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob are better than modern SpongeBob. Bottom line, Woody Woodpecker is not an annoying character. I find him less annoying than SpongeBob. He's a character that I enjoyed the most. But if you want me to have a more positive light with this topic because of what I said about SpongeBob being more annoying than Woody Woodpecker, at least we can all agree that all of the classic characters I listed are better than Caillou and or My Little Pony, even though they aren't that relevant anymore. So bottom line, I'm not saying that Woody Woodpecker is the greatest cartoon character. He's just the character that I've grown interest to, not worth all the bashing in the world. Modern SpongeBob though deserves all the bashing in the world, even if he is still better than the said characters I mentioned. Number 5. DeviantArt Eclipse sucks. If you have like a DeviantArt account like I do, you know that I don't like using DeviantArt Eclipse. Yeah, sure, it's good for you, but it's not for others. And what's sad about this topic is that by the time DeviantArt's old site will retire, the new one takes over, and it's so confusing that I don't know where to post fanfictions, fanart or journals. You could say that Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge doesn't support DeviantArt anymore. Most people would do this on Google Chrome, and if it does happen I will retire from Explorer and move on to Google Chrome. I started a DeviantArt account because I wanted to share my opinions, memes or even fanart, only on a rare occasion, and sometimes I bash on people for their opinions, which I will admit sends a wrong message. Then again, as I mentioned, the internet is a playground for opinions and arguments, and we all have different opinions, so yes, the old DeviantArt is better. It will be gone but not forgotten. I guess I might as well prepare for changes in the future. Number 6. Online gaming is bad and repetitive. I'm going to be trashed on because of this opinion I have about it. The reason why I say this is because there are currently a lot of gamers that like to play online games rather than just offline solo players. I prefer offline games where you play by yourself and team up or fight against the computer, and the downside of this is because you have players who are over-competitive and gloat over the stupidest event, whether it's survival or team deathmatch or etc. The other downfall is that you have to have internet connection, and a lot of games today like Fortnite, Call of Duty, Brawl Stars, Brawlhalla, Star Wars Battlefront and this goes on do require internet connection, which is why I would rather play other games like Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, Grand Prix, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3, Slime Speedway, Looney Tunes World of Mayhem, Disney Heroes Battle Mode, Disney Infinity, Minecraft, Lego Worlds, Lego City Undercover, the Lego Movie 2 video game, SpongeBob game remakes by THQ Nordic, and even I'm planning the offline fighting games like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct and heck even the Pipeworks Godzilla games. So what else I think about online gaming? It's not really the best thing for people like me, and worst of all, if you have like a PlayStation, Nintendo and Microsoft account, you have to pay for online subscription, which is a total ripoff. So if you want to play a game, here's my advice: stay away from online gaming and stick to offline gaming. If you do, don't say I didn't warn you. you will be bullied. And it would be your own fault. Number 7. Streaming media is not a good taste for me. I know I'm going to get a punch in the face for saying this, but streaming media is not really good for my taste. I know it's popular with some people, but I think it's just too expensive. Streaming services like Amazon Prime Video, Apple TV+, Disney+, Hulu, Netflix, Paramount+, Max, and this goes on are those kinds of examples. The reason why I bring this up is because everyone loves these services so much it gives them variety of exclusive shows. For example, Disney Plus has Star Wars The Mandalorian, Netflix has Dr. Swiss Green Eggs Ham, but there are those kind of movies that don't stay on so-and-so for a real long time, like for example, Netflix gives us Disney films like Zootopia, then later it's gone. I guess you can say that not everything lasts forever. They get taken away as their license will expire as the time progresses. Damn it, did I forget to tell you that I can remember the time I had Netflix? I watched Friends sitcom. It was not removed since it got its license from Warner Brothers, the company that produced the sitcom. Speaking of which, I can mention Max. Nothing, just Max. It originally known as HBO Max. Max was a living shit of Warner Brothers. After the merger of Discovery and Warner Media into one company, Warner Brothers Discovery, HBO Max has removed several shows. To take a large example, Aquaman, King of Atlantis, Close Enough, The Fungies, Infinity Train, Mau Mau Heroes of Pure Heart, Mighty Magazerts, OKKO, Let's Heroes, Summer Camp Island, Tig and Seek, Victor and Valentino. Even I recently found out that Max has gone through a series of removals since its debut. It has lost a number of classic Cartoon Network shows from its library in the past few years, with the latest being the critically removed Ed, Edd n Eddy, The Grim Adventures of Billy Mandy, Green Lantern, the animated series, The Looney Tunes Show, and Static Shock. Even Teen Titans Go was also removed from Max, which sounds kind of suspicious to me that Teen Titans Go was removed. But they keep the 8th season. Someone think that one guy has no idea and doesn't gives a shit about any animation, in favor of a stupid live-action and reality shit that no one asked for or didn't sign up for it. Blame David fucking Zaslav, the greedy crustaceous cheapskate who hates animation. Another reason why I think it's overrated is because it gets very pricey. For example, Netflix will cost you at least $9.99 a month for subscription. In fact, they eat your money with each monthly subscription, which is to say that I easily prefer DVD and Blu-ray over streaming services. But then again, discs don't last too long either. I know there is a lot of opinions saying streaming services are better than cable TV or physical media, but in truth, the internet is a playground of arguments and opinions, and what's sad is that there is some folk that say that streaming media could eventually destroy the sales of physical copies, which is in fact an alternative way to enjoy movies or shows for those who either don't have internet or who can't afford streaming services. So for those who ask when will physical media die, only time will tell, but in my opinion, I still say Blu-ray, 4K and DVD will still be around for those who can't afford streaming services or have bad internet connection. This is why I want to buy a DVD or a Blu-ray player when I want to. Number 8. Fortnite is milking gamers. I want to talk about Fortnite. Fortnite is a popular shooting game released both digitally and physically on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and this goes on. I feel like with all of the content, this game, along with other modern games, just milk their gamers with money, and believe me, and they do eat your money after making some purchases for DLC. As much as I hate to say it, never will I ever touch the game and never will I ever play it, even after when it was included when I got my Xbox One. Thank God I deleted and I'm never installing the game ever again. Just let the online gamers and cyberbullies handle this. I should stay away from the game in general. Number 9. Original Disney classic movies are better than live-action remakes. Disney is best at making animated movies and cartoons like Pinocchio, The Great Mouse Detective, etc. And of course Winnie the Pooh, 2011, is probably the last Disney movie to be made with pencil-drawn animation, with The Princess and the Frog being the last Disney princess movie to be made with pencil-drawn animation, and CGI movies just ruin it. I'm sorry Disney lovers, but I like the original Disney classics rather than the live-action remakes, and yes, they are good, but my heart still belongs to the great classics before CGI came into existence. I like Disney movies that range from Snow White to The Lion King, but I also enjoyed other classics like Home on the Range, don't know why they hate it or gave it average reviews, Tarzan, Mulan, Hercules, The Hunchback of Notre Dame and Pocahontas, but Dinosaur is my personal favorite because I love dinosaurs. Pixar is okay, but with CGI animated movies, I feel like Pixar is taking over Disney. Why are you guys doing this? And also, why is Disney remaking those great classics? Don't they ever come up with original ideas anymore? Everything from my childhood has to be recycled and remade into computer animation. That's ridiculous. I miss the traditional pencil-drawn animation rather than the CGI or live-action stuff. And finally, number 10, The Land Before Time. 1 to 4 are the best ones. The Land Before Time was my all-time favorite non-Disney movies growing up as a kid. The fact that Don Bluth, famous for An American Tail and Rocket-Doodle, was the director of the first movie, and it was the only movie that was released theatrically, while the rest of them were only released as direct-to-video or DVD, although they are good to mediocre, or sometimes bad. The best Land Before Time flicks were probably the original, second, third and fourth movies in my opinion, because of Candace Hudson. The original voice of Sarah the Triceratops was in these movies, while the rest of them had Andy McAfee voicing Sarah. I'm sorry, but I just don't like her voice, though I don't mind her younger brother Scott voicing Littlefoot the Apatosaurus, or Brontosaurus to some of you all if you like that name, in the second, third and fourth movies. The rest of them are just meh to me. Although Judith Barcy voiced Ducky the Saurolophus in the first movie, due to her death caused by murder from her father, a new voice was given to Ducky, and I don't mind that, even if her story was horrible. And the first movie dedicate this to Judith, along with another Bluth movie, All Dogs Go to Heaven. Will Ryan was the original voice for Petrie the Pteranodon, even if it's not a dinosaur, in the first movie, but was later voiced by veteran voice actor Jeff Bennett. And as for Spike the Stegosaurus, even if he was a mute character in the first movie, he has been voiced by Rob Paulsen in the rest of the movies, except for The Secret of Saurus Rock. In my opinion, I think the best Land Before Time movie were the original, The Great Valley Adventure, The Time of the Great Giving and Journey Through the Mists, while the rest were okay to meh to mediocre to bad. So yeah, it's just me. So there you guys have it for my unpopular opinions. Hope you guys enjoyed and understand that I said about. If some of you guys disagree with it I said, I can respect your opinion. Let me know in the comments, and what is your unpopular opinion. Have a good day everyone.